Hey, what's up guys? My name is Michael. Welcome to my channel. Today's video is all about my Lumix S9 and the lenses and the setup that I have for it that has made it, for me, a fantastic dad cam slash daily carry slash like light travel camera system for me as I am just beginning my photography journey here. If you missed my first video, make sure you check it out. I explained why I created this channel from scratch and why I chose the Lumix S9 as the camera to begin my photography journey as a hobby, to document just my life around me and family, so on and so forth. That being said, let's talk about the lenses. Everything that I have here are all primes for the S9. And we're gonna start with my wide angle lens here. And this is gonna be the Sigma 20mm. I believe this is the I-series lens, and I love this thing. 20mm, it sits between like that 18 or the 16 and the 24. So it gives you wide. If you do vlogging like I do, I will do some light vlogging on this camera. Super easy, just turn it and hold it at myself, and I got plenty of room in the shot. I'm not all in it, and so the 20mm works for vlogging. On top of that, this 20mm, which is a, let's see, it's an f2, I believe. This thing right here, it's great for landscapes. I've taken it out, shot landscapes. Also have used it with my daughter shooting the moon at night, and that was really cool. It's a good option for those folks that are into astrophotography, I believe is what it's called. I've dabbled like very, very loosely in that by just taking pictures of the moon at night, right? But it's something that as I explore different genres of photography, it's something that I can do with this lens. And you know what, the form factor here, it holds on the body really well. Now these I-series Sigmas are all metal construction, so they're built like a tank. I love the robustness of the lens, how it feels, and it's just at the right length where it's not too long. It'd be great if it was a little bit shorter on the body, but overall it has a good balance on the S9. And it works great, and I really, really love the quality of the images on this thing, whether it's video or photos, is really, really good for this 20mm I-series Sigma. All right, from the 20mm, we're now stepping it up to my favorite one. Oh, this thing is amazing right here. The 45mm Sigma I-series lens. This thing, look how small that is in terms of the form factor. It's another, you know, well-built, all metal construction lens, and the profile on it, it's a shorter lens, and it sits on the body beautifully. And 85% of the time, the 45 lives on my S9. It's the one that, as soon as I pull it out of the bag, it's on there and I'm just snapping away. I've shot a little bit of everything, some street photography, walking on the street. I've shot stuff from family hanging around. Like I won't say portraits per se, but you know, when they're around. And I've just shot everything with this thing, and it's definitely my favorite one. It's just a great all around. It's 45mm, so it's close to that nifty 50, but it's just a little bit more breathing room, just a little bit right there. And again, I mean, it's a unique lens. That's something that kind of caught my eye. A lot of these I-series lenses are, you know, they have like these off kind of putting focal lengths, and I find them interesting because it's made me kind of have to shoot based around the lens, like, and what it gives me. And I think that's kind of an interesting concept here. And this is a 2.8 aperture lens. Again, all metal construction. It's got the same aperture ring here if you want to do it manually. But man, I love this thing. I couldn't recommend it enough. It's just if you needed one for your S9, my God, this is the one to go with for sure. Almost dropped my camera. Let's talk about the next lens. Here we have my most recent addition to my lineup, and I really find this one to be very interesting here. This is a 65mm Sigma I-series. You kind of see where I'm going that way here. These I-series honestly fit this camera body really, really well here. As far as the length of the lens, it's about the same as the 20mm, just slightly, maybe just a slight tad bit longer. But again, it's at a good length where it's not too heavily balanced towards the front, and it just kind of works. And I found that the 65mm, I've had it now for about 2 weeks. Again, it's also a very interesting focal length. It's not a 50, it's not quite an 85, it's 65. And what I can say is that I've taken some headshots of myself. I wanted to kind of test it doing like portraits. So I set myself up on the screen. I took some photos of myself with it using the Lumix app and the remote shutter, which is great, by the way, for doing self photos. Yeah, like it turned out pretty damn good. And I'm excited about this lens. again, it's such a unique focal length. And so for me, I wanted to build out primes that kind of give me a variety of lengths so that I can kind of shoot different things and have that flexibility. What I will say with these I-series as a whole, make sure when you get them to download the latest firmware updates from the Sigma website to update them. When I first got this one, the focusing was all over the place. I'm like, this is not right. Maybe it's busted. So I did my due diligence. Like, let me check the firmware. Realized that was like the shipping firmware updated to the most recent one. And that solved like the weird focusing thing. And it's been solid since I did the update there. So update all your I-series lenses if you do venture to get one. Again, what can I say about this? It's really cool. I still need to put more time into it, and I plan to do that on this channel, kind of sharing photos with the 65, but I'm not disappointed at all with this most recent purchase. Let's talk about my last prime that I have for my S9. Believe it or not, the last lens that I have for my S9 is not, in fact, a Sigma I-series lens. It is the Panasonic 100mm macro lens, and this thing is really, really cool. Lengthwise, it's about the same length as the 65 and the 20. It balances fairly well on the S9. Again, all the Lumix primes sit well on the S9. I picked up the 100mm just because I wanted something at that 100mm length. You can do portraits with this as well, but I also wanted to explore macro photography. And when this thing came out, you know, they touted it as the smallest macro available on the market. And yeah, it pretty much is that. And I've toyed around with macro. Like, by no means am I good at this whole concept of like focus stacking and doing all this stuff, but I like the idea, and I've toyed with it and getting close on certain things around me. I don't like the idea of getting, you know, face checking bugs. That's the part I gotta work on that, but maybe I need to find other little things that I can like really get into and do all that. So we'll explore that on the channel as I do a macro video or an experiment with that and all that. But it's been great. I really do like this lens. It's such a unique lens, 100mm macro, 1:1 and all of that. And again, you could take, you know, portraits with this 100mm. I've taken pictures of my mother on a cabin trip recently, and I just sat from afar and just took a photo, and I was like, oh, this looks good. And again, the macro ability on there is another little added function. So I can do quite a bit. I mean, between the 20mm, the 45, the 65, and the 100, and then with the 100 being a macro, man, I feel like I got all my bases covered for me to do and explore all these different types of photography genres, you know, whether it's street, landscape, nighttime, macro. Man, I really feel like I got the tools to just experiment and have fun and just kind of see what I can come up with. And all of these lenses just sit so well on the S9. That's a big reason why I didn't go with a telephoto lens, because a lot of them are a lot longer and it throws off that balance on the camera. It just feels weird and awkward. So I wanted to stay with primes, and as I did my research, you know, I came across the I-series. In fact, the first person to kind of put it on my radar is another YouTuber, Rhett. Shout out to Rhett. I'll link to him down below. I saw his video on the I-series and I was like, oh, did my research and I pulled the trigger on the 45mm first. And then once I got it and I saw the construction, the build quality and what I was getting out of it, that made me venture into some of the other focal lengths from the Sigma I-series, and that's where I'm at today with the majority of my S9 lenses being the Sigma I-series. I think they're slept on. I think they really are slept on as a good lens that complements the S9 body for sure. That doesn't take away anything from the Lumix primes, because I have a 35 over here as well, and I like that as well. But yeah, like these I-series just really hold up well on the body. The only other thing I have here on the camera, which every YouTuber, when they were reviewing the S9 said to get, was the small grip handle. Yeah, they were right about that thing, 100%. It just makes holding it with that little bit of grip there much more comfortable, and just feel such security there, even though I got the little wrist strap, but I just feel more locked in with the little small grip handle right there. Let's talk about some of the other things I have for it that really make it just a great on-the-go system for me. First is, and I'm sure there's tons of sling bags out there. I wasn't trying to break the bank, so I came across this on Amazon, the KNF Concept bag. little sling backpack thing here. Small, compact, and it carries all of the lenses inside with the S9, with the 45 on it. Whatever lens is connected on it sits in the middle. I shoved the other 3 lenses on the sides. It's on the go, ready to go. Inside the top pouch right here, another recommendation, if you want to do any kind of like self-vlogging, you cannot go wrong with the little Rode VideoMic Pro. So if I do anything where I want to self-vlog, that goes right on top, get good quality audio. It's self-powered through the camera, and that's a done deal. For those that want to do a little bit more, I do have, these are just old, I've had them, but these are the Rode wireless. It's like the first gen white Rodes wireless right here. So I keep those, I kept them around. I decided to put it in this bag in case I ever wanted to mic myself up with a lav or wirelessly, just for an improved audio quality. And that's the setup. Like, that's all I have in my bag, those couple of things. And that has allowed me to essentially grab and go. Every time I step out of my house, this little bag comes with me in the event that I'm somewhere and I see something that's interesting. I run to the car, or I'll just bring it with me. Oh, that looks cool. Pull it out, snap, 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 and I've got something. And that is my rundown of my lenses and my kind of setup for the Lumix S9 that maybe if you're in the same boat as I was, thinking about whether or not this would be the right camera for you, and then what lenses should you get for it? Well, here's some viable options I would recommend for you to check out, do some more research on, see if that's gonna work for you. I'll link to them down below to make it easier for you to find all of them, and then you can kind of explore from there all the details on the lenses and see if that's a good fit for you. If you are already running some of these lenses, I would love to hear your thoughts and feedback down in the comments. And if you have any questions that I can help answer, if you're curious about any of these lenses or my experience with it, drop a comment below as well. I'll read through it and answer to the best of my ability. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Appreciate you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.